Hello everybody, welcome to today's live stream. I'm just going to wait till everything kind of fires up here, and again making sure the audio is going okay. So if you can hear me, give me a thumbs up or say yes, you can hear me. So yeah, I'm just going to wait till everything kind of fires up here, and then I'll get started. I got a couple projects today, just like the title says. Looks like everything is okay on this, and whoops, nothing's popping up over here. But yeah, I have a couple of Monstera projects that I want to get done today, and one of them being the Monstera Mint, and the other one is the BURLE MARX FLAME. I don't know why this isn't going. Okay, it's just a slow connection feed. So today's actually a bit of a crazy day. Everybody's at home here. And so, yeah, everyone's coming and going. So hopefully that's not a bit of a, it won't be a distraction, or hope it's not going to be a distraction. We got laundry going. Yeah, we got a windstorm upstairs. There's like 90 to 100 kilometer an hour winds right now. So who knows, I could be losing some shingles, but the show must go on. So yeah, thanks for joining the live stream today. If you're just joining, I just mentioned that I have two projects I want to get done. I want to repot a brand new plant, a Monstera Mint that I bought yesterday. Here is, okay, so here is the leaf. Beautiful plant. So one of my local plant shops just got these in. I haven't seen any around here, but I did pick this up. It wasn't cheap, that's for sure, but definitely they've come down in price. There's a couple things that I guess concern me about this pot. Is it's a very small plant, like it's like what, 5 leaves, and like here's the tiniest little leaf. So my concern is that this pot is probably too big, so I want to take it out, look at the roots, and I'm concerned about the soil. It almost looks like almost like moss, almost like a fiber. So I want to put it in something a little bit chunkier. So that's the plan for this plant. And then I have my BURLE MARX FLAME Monstera, which is this beauty right here. It is constantly under attack from thrips. So that's not the reason why I'm chopping it up. I do want to try the top cutting, I believe, in pond. So I'm going to place it in a self-watering pot. I do have a bag of pond here. I'm going to put it on a moss pole. I've never placed a Monstera on a moss pole before, so I'm going to see how it does compared to just soil. I'm going to leave the bottom cutting in this pot. I'm going to let the nodes activate, and then hopefully I can make some more BURLE MARX FLAME from this one. So that is the plan, or the agenda for today's video. Just like every live stream, I would like to know where you guys are watching from, what you guys are doing today on a Saturday. And again, let me know, can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure that the audio and everything is crisp before we go forward. Deep Grows, finally got myself a baby BURLE MARX FLAME. The same shop that I got this from, they do have some smaller BURLE MARX FLAMEs as well, and I think they were for like 80 bucks. So 2 years ago, maybe even last year, they were like $180, $200, $250. So let me know in the comment section if the audio is crisp. Lori says hi from Southwestern Ontario. Tracy from Texas. Italy again, Christina. Illinois, Chicago. Audio is good. Thumbs up. Okay, perfect. So yeah, greetings from Illinois, from Vanessa. So thanks for tuning in. I kind of do just a last minute announcement for my live streams. I only gave an hour's notice, so thanks for everybody that's tuning in today. Laura from California, Sarah from Vermont. So thanks for joining in. Yeah. Are you guys seeing any Monstera mints where you guys are? I know this is the first time I've heard of it being where I'm from here in Saskatchewan, so I was pretty excited to see this, and I did pay a little bit over $100, so it was a little bit pricey, but my thought process is I could wait and then have them come down in price in say like 6 months or even a year, or this might be one of those plants that you see for a little while and then you just don't see it again for quite some time. So that was the reason why I kind of splurged on this one, and there are a lot available online. Okay, well, that doesn't make me feel good about my decision. Maybe I jumped the gun a little too soon and bought it. But I guess by the time I grow this one out to anything of decent size, you're probably going to be able to find them in like big box stores and grocery stores for like a large plant for like $50. But it is what it is. I'm going to learn from this one. Yes, in Italy, 150 euro. I'm not too sure how that converts to US dollars, or where I am in Canada, our dollars, it's pretty weak right now. Windy, Manitoba, 90K gusts. Yes, I'm in Regina, and same thing. Like my trees are just sideways. And at the start, I said I'm probably losing some shingles, but oh well. We'll see what happens. Sarah says I bought a mint a couple months ago, cost me $235. So yeah, they're still up there. What did I pay? 130 something, I think it is, plus tax. I've seen some that look like albos. Degrowth says probably sounds blasphemous, but I'm not a fan of variegated plants. The only one I have is a Monstera albo. I think I've made a video on, not like this topic, but I've definitely mentioned it in videos before. I prefer just a solid green leaf, but there's a couple different types of plants that I'm into lately. One of them is anthuriums, obviously philodendrons, and monsteras. There's something about monsteras that I just absolutely love, so I had to have this one. But when it comes to like other variegated plants, it's not something that I run out and must have. But this one, if you look at like mature pictures of it online, the mint, it can have kind of like a variety of different patterns on the leaves, but this is one that I definitely had to have. The Monstera albo, which I have, as well as the Thai constellation and just the regular green ones. Probably my least favorite is the albo. It's just, yeah, I enjoy it, but I wouldn't be sad if, it's gonna sound weird, but if it died. But I do. Oh, and I do have the Aurea as well, the green and yellow, which is, it's a smaller one, and it's very, very slow growing. So I'm curious to see how this one grows over time, whether it's a fast grower, and yeah, compared to the other varieties, Monstera Aurea. So yeah, anthuriums I love. Tomorrow, if you guys aren't doing anything, I have an IKEA cabinet video coming out, and basically it'll showcase like 2/3 of the anthuriums, or most of the anthuriums that I have in my collection. So Monstera Aurea is my least favorite. Burnaby, BC. So yeah, thanks for joining into the live stream. Okay, so I haven't taken this out of the pot. I just kind of wanted to leave this surprise for the live stream. I'm not expecting a large root system for this plant, so I do have a couple pots on standby, as well as just these plastic cups in case I have to downsize it, which I'm kind of suspecting I will. So take it out, and yeah, like not much roots. There's some larger chunky ones, but I was kind of expecting it, or I was hoping that it would be kind of consuming the entire pot. So in my opinion, this is way too much soil. And then it's in, this one's not bad, but it's in one of those like seed pod things. This is, it feels more like soil. It's kind of spongy. So I always remove these ones. Yeah, I feel like it hinders the root growth, but I'm not an expert with these little seed pods. I'm going to remove it, and then I'm going to place it on a moss bowl. Which one am I going to do it on? This one. So I picked out a small little moss bowl. I've never had a Monstera on moss bowl before, so I'm going to try out this one. Yeah, one of my more expensive plants. I'm going to be experimenting with moss. But, so yeah, I'm just going to take these off. Got a lot of alocasias not happy with me right now after using Molly's aeroid mix, dropping stems like crazy. That's pretty common for alocasias if you change the soil or any of their conditions for them to just go dormant. So it's probably what's going on. It's just going dormant. Planty Mandy, hey friends, welcome to the live stream today. You pretty much need, for some or most varieties of alocasia, you need a high humidity environment, in my experience. But I know a lot of people use pond and like semi-hydro type stuff. Okay, I just want to kind of show this. So this is a fairly dense, like spongy seed pod type thing. You can see the root is kind of curled. So personally, I don't like these things. I understand why they use them, but I'm just going to remove it. Yeah, all my alocasia are in pond and they love it. That's what Sarah said. I think alocasia like pond. They do. I've kind of been doing a little bit of a trial. So I have a few different varieties in pond. These ones used to be in my IKEA cabinet, but just to make room for my anthuriums, there is a few different varieties. So this is, oh, and I thought it was a thrip, just a little piece of dirt, but this is the, which one is this again? New Guinea Gold, I believe. Not too sure which one this is. That looks like a thrip. The Alocasia Jacqueline. There's a couple different varieties, and it's doing well in this pot for sure. I think it was on one of my live streams or in one of my videos about pond, which I have right here. So I got this off Amazon. Someone told me not to fertilize pond because there is a slow release fertilizer in there. So if you do use pond, just make sure you're not like double dosing it when it comes to fertilizer. So all I do is take these plants over to my shower, garden hose in the basement here. Super handy, but so yeah, I just spray off the plants. I haven't seen any like actual like Lechuza Pond brand anywhere where I live, so I did buy it off Amazon, and it can be quite expensive. I'm trying my best not to break a root, and I broke just a tiny little root. That little guy right there, not a big deal. It's these larger ones. So I wanted to do this today because it needs water. Like this, the soil is super dry, but I'm afraid that if I water it, this stuff is just, it's so dense. So I'm just going to remove as much as I can here. Losing my chat. I still fertilize the Lechuza Pond even with the soil release in it. Interesting. Have you ever had any of your alocasias burn? Like, have they gotten any leaf burn or anything like that, or are they just growing like crazy? So I think I'm going to choose the smaller pot for this little tiny Monstera. Now, whenever I choose a pot for a Monstera, you just want it slightly larger than the root system. So this is probably like a little 4-inch pot. I'll be placing the moss pool in the pot as well, and there's definitely enough room for the plant to grow. So I'm going to put it, I'm just sizing it up right now in the pot, and then I'm going to secure it with the plant Velcro. Now, for those that maybe don't have a ton of experience with Monsteras, they actually do have a front and a back. I have like 38 different varieties of alocasia. I have a problem. Well, if you watch tomorrow's video of my IKEA greenhouse cabinet, I think I counted like 36 plants in that cabinet alone. So we all have a problem. I don't even know how many plants I have downstairs here. And for those of you that have been watching my channel for a while now, I started this little YouTube studio probably like 3 years ago in like an empty corner of my basement, just with this workshop table, and now it's like it's a jungle. So I fertilize weekly from the start. Interesting. Okay, so it sounds like everybody that has their alocasias in pond fertilize as well. I thought having 22 is bad. You take the award. You're talking about oh, it's talking about syrup. Oh no, I put dirt in my water. It's not gonna hurt me. Okay, so yeah, I'm getting off topic again. I just kind of the very rabbit hole's a deep one. Oh yeah, and I did find a new home-based company, I think, from Ontario. And again, I mentioned it in tomorrow's video. It's repotplants.com, and yeah, they have some absolutely beautiful anthuriums on their website. I've now ordered twice from her store, and she has one of my wish list plants, probably just like everybody else's, the variegated Billietiae. Okay, back on topic. I gotta stay on topic, or on task. So yeah, there is a front and a back to a Monstera. It can be a little bit more difficult on younger plants, but this one actually has a little aerial root right there. I don't know if you can see it, just a little nub on the stem. The aerial roots will always be on the back of the plant, and they alternate. So it's, again, tough to see on this one, but the leaf petioles, so the majority of the leaf petiole will be on the front. Flip it around, and you should see some aerial roots on the back. So this is the back. That's going to go on the moss bowl. And I left a little bit of a gap because I am going to be putting the Molly's aeroid mix, but I'm just going to be sizing up the plant here first, making sure it's down deep enough. So something like that, and then I'm just going to get my little plant Velcro, and then I'll secure it on. Sarah says, I think I have more. I just have to count them. I'm not even counting the corms that I have growing. Technically, I don't know. I don't think corms count. It's probably better not to include it in the count. Anyone else here in Canada getting this absolutely crazy windstorm today? Okay, so I'm going to put it right there. I don't want to go too low. So I'm going to just wrap it around like this. What's everybody doing today on this Saturday? No wind here in Alberta. That's nice. I was hoping to get out in the kayak this weekend and do some fishing, but I think tomorrow is supposed to be better. So this is how beautiful in Ontario. Okay, so that's how deep I have it for now. And then I'm just going to add the soil just in there. So dump this thing. Original dirt. going to fill in the bottom of the moss pole here first. Where's my little cup? A little scoop. I think that's the only thing I forgot to get today. So I'm going to fill up the moss pole, the bottom first, and then I'm going to put it in the pot. I'm going to be using the terracotta pot. I like using terracotta for a lot of my plants just because it helps dry out the soil quicker than it would be if it was in a nursery pot. Saturday is my watering day. Calgary's having great weather. I love Calgary. I haven't been there for probably, well, since before COVID. Calgary is such a beautiful city. My aunt used to live there, but she has now moved to BC, so we don't have a place to stay in Alberta. Sarah's doing plant chores. Kay Spence is in Calgary. Laura's California. Watering and maintenance with my plants, plant errands. Sitting in my car waiting for my kid wishing us home watering my plants. Okay, putting a little bit. South Africa. Oh, smokes. Welcome to the live stream. Okay, so I'm going to put all these roots in the pot. And if you've seen any of my other videos on moss poles, I know a lot of times people will place their moss pole straight up, but I like to angle mine backwards just a little bit because over time, as the plant grows and gets heavier, it tends to pull them forward, and then you'll have the pot tipping over. I'm bringing in my cactus collection and looking for where to put them. Well, that's why I don't take many plants outside, just because when I bring them inside, I don't have space, because most likely I would have bought more plants to replace the ones that I took outside. Just going to put a little bit at the back and then angle it. I'm going to give this one some water right away here too, because it's super dry and I don't want these roots to dry out. What happened to that beautiful lipstick plant that was behind you on the shelf? That plant has actually been gone for, I want to say, probably a year. And it was one of my favorites because of how often it bloomed. It was such a beautiful plant. So what I think happened is I used cold water on the leaves. So it started to get these kind of blotchy, discolor kind of thing. And at first I thought maybe it was like a fungal issue or a virus or something like that. So I sent it to a couple people and they weren't really sure. And long story short, I didn't want to chance it in case it was anything like a fungal infection or something like that. I didn't want it affecting the rest of my plants. So I was just going to buy another one. So I threw it out in the compost. What I think happened is the leaves actually reacted to cold water. It still pushed out new growth, but it just didn't look good. So it was kind of like yellow spots, white spots, just kind of all over the leaves. So it was no longer vibrant. But yeah, long story short, I threw it in the compost just because I didn't want to chance it in case it was infected in some way. But yeah, it was awesome because it filled up this entire corner over here, and it was so beautiful. I never had luck with lipstick plants. I did have a couple varieties, but the one that was up here was called the Mona Lisa. Super hardy. It always looked healthy. Even though the rest of my plants had thrips, it seemed to, and I did find thrips on it, but it seemed pretty resilient. It was in a larger terracotta pot, so I would take it over to my bathroom shower there with my garden hose. I have it hooked up in the laundry room, and I would spray it off. So yeah, that's what I think happened to that one, which is unfortunate because it was a beautiful one. Hello from Sweden. You water cold water and it died. Yep, told you. Some plants, yeah, they can be pretty susceptible to cold water, and again, that was my mistake. I'm just suspecting that's what happened, was the cold water, but who knows? Can't get them to live past 2 years. What you can do, and just like any other like vining type plant, is you can always cut the stems back, pot them in, or place them in water, and then when you kind of get like a bare area on top, then I would just stick like a propagation just on top, and then eventually it'll just start to grow and fill out again. So you just keep chopping and propagating. Mealybugs and some root rot. That's interesting. Well, mealybugs, they can be found on many different types of plants, but I've never had any issue with them on a lipstick plant. Mona Lisa didn't like me. One thing that I noticed with the Mona Lisa is it loved light. It needed you know what? I think I had it upstairs, and it didn't like the light that it was getting upstairs. I can't remember the actual setup that I had, but when I brought it downstairs here, it loved these grow lights, and it exploded. So, okay, here's waiting for, is that a pencil? Waiting for the pencil moment. Oh, I should have been using it for pushing down all the soil. What is going on? How rude of me. So, yeah, I have mine in a south window. Plant Eat and Andy says the Mona Lisa constantly flowers. So yeah, they love sun. Okay, so I brought a little watering can because I'm going to water this one right now. Gotta go drive now later. Okay, drive safe, and thanks for joining the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day. Sometimes when I water plants like this, like over a bin, I'll plug the drain hole in the bottom. I'll just kind of let it soak in for a little bit, and then I'll let it drain through. I find with these smaller pots, sometimes the drain hole gets plugged. There. So I just poke the hole every once in a while. I don't know why they have like a tiny little hole in the smaller pots. Like they should have just a standard size hole. I'm gonna put this in the tray for now. So this is what it looks like. Beautiful little Monstera mint leaf on a moss bowl. I'm going to see how it does. I've never had a Monstera on a moss bowl before, so I'm going to set this aside. Now I'm going to chop up the BURLE MARX FLAME. So at the start of this video, for those that are just joining right now, this one, it started just as a couple leaves. Like these are the original leaves. So like there's no fenestrations or anything like that, but in my experience so far, this one's actually been quite a fast grower. And what is it? The last 3 leaves now have these fenestrations, but it's constantly under attack from thrips. Pardon me. I don't know if you can see it, but it almost looks like kind of like rust on the bottom of the leaf. This is the newest leaf, and it's definitely got the most damage on there. So I've been checking this one quite frequently. I've been spraying it off with a product called Pure Crop 1, So hopefully I can get these thrips under control, but everything's still growing nice. It's just occasionally you'll see some damage on the leaves, but right now I'm just trying to manage the problem as best as I can. I don't want to go full nuclear and have like tons of pesticides and stuff in my basement, because that's probably not good for your health. Do I have any variegated string hearts? No, I'm buying paint pencils ASAP. Pencils, in my opinion, and because I'm biased, but it's probably the handiest plant tool out there. It's good for digging out plants, filling air holes with or soil around the roots there. It's a very versatile tool. Variegated string hearts. No, I don't. I did have a string hearts like probably 3 years ago, and eventually it just died. And right now, just because of my, I would say, managed but consistent thrip issue, it's really difficult to get rid of thrips when you have vining plants, just because there's so many leaves, stems, cracks, everything. Yeah, so I really haven't been buying any vining type plants, more of the climbing and crawling aeroids, philodendrons, anthuriums, all that kind of stuff. Someone just said, I'm not sure if your mic is working, could be on my end. Is the sound still okay? Have you gotten any more TC plants lately? I think like probably the majority. Yeah, just let me know if the audio sound is weird. I always have troubles on live stream with audio. Has it been weird the whole time? I hope it hasn't been. This mic, occasionally, it's good. Whenever I film some videos, there's a hum. Has it been there the whole time? The hum? It might be the internet connection. Sometimes that can be an issue, but I've been having some issues with my mic itself. Whenever I film clips for videos, it gets a little like a buzzing sound. So if it's buzzing, I'm just going to turn off the mic here quick. I'm not going to reset the live stream or anything like that, because I'm not going through that again. Let me know if there's still a hum. Hopefully it was just a little glitch here, but I'm hoping it wasn't for the whole live stream. Just someone let me know if it's been here the whole live stream, and I apologize if the sound hasn't been good. Or did it just happen? I'm just going to reset, or I'm just going to turn the mic off real quick and then turn it back on. It's been happening since I've been on. Oh, geez. How long have you been on for? It sounds okay. Whole live stream. Oh, geez. Okay. My apologies. I'm just going to turn this off for 1 second. Okay, it should be back on. And I'm going to try something here. I don't know if it was the audio, but I do, can you see me? I do have a fan going. Okay, I'm going to turn this fan off. I got like an oscillating fan. Let me know if that like stops. Did that help with the buzzing? My apologies. It's been sounding fine here. As long as you guys can hear me okay, I'm just going to keep going, and I'll check the audio afterwards. Still. Okay. Well, thanks for letting me know. I appreciate it, but yeah. Okay. The show must go on. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of the pot. One thing I did want to mention is that whenever this is actually a better look at the aerial roots. As you can see, they do alternate, so it grows on one side and then the node below it grows on the other side. So you'll always see a leaf. Let's see, I'll do it on this. This node right here, the leaf will be on one side and the aerial root will be on the other. And then when you're propagating it, you always want to look for the little growing eye. So that is right there. It's usually near or underneath the leaf petiole on the same side. So if I flip it over to the next node, you'll see another growing eye right there. So if you make a, so there's one right down here, probably where I'm going to make the cut. You want to make sure that you cut above that, so when the new growth starts or pops out from the bottom portion of the stem, that's where the new growth is going to come from. So you want to make sure you don't cut that growing eye. Only in the background so we can hear you just fine. Perfect. Okay. Did you adjust your plant placement in the winter? Ontario girl here with drafty windows. My house is only about 14 years old, I think. So we have pretty decent windows. If you're getting like really cold drafts, like you can feel them coming through your windows, then I would just pull them back a little bit. But otherwise, I keep all of my like cactus and succulents. I have a south-facing window in the living room there, so I keep them all on the ledge and on my shelves and stuff throughout the winter. If you're concerned about light and drafty windows, just maybe pull them back and then just get yourself like a cheap grow light off Amazon or something. The Sansi, these ones back here, these Sansi grow lights, these gooseneck ones, they're fairly affordable. I think they're like $30 or $40, but they are super, super good. I had some mealybugs on some vine plants. I bathed them in Castile soap and water, and that seemed to work too. Yeah, there's many different methods. Mealybugs, I find, I bought like these little, it's kind of like a miniature spray bottle, like a misting bottle, I guess, of the 70% isopropyl alcohol, and I just spray the entire cactus down with that spray. Otherwise, you can use just like rubbing alcohol, which is the same thing. It's like 70%. You can just use a Q-tip. But I find when I coat the entire plant with that spray, then I haven't seen any mealybugs. So it's much easier than just using a Q-tip, because you're going to be missing many different areas, and some of them are just like tiny little specks until they grow up. So yeah, Sansi lights, these ones are awesome. Sarah says I use alcohol, also works great. So I actually did this summer, for the first time ever, I had mealybugs on some of my cactus upstairs. So so yeah, that's kind of the general, I guess, anatomy of the monsteras. And it's the same thing for like the regular monsteras with this BURLE MARX. So one thing that I've mentioned, I think in a couple of videos now, is whenever you have an area root that is just growing outside the pot, as long as you can bend it and redirect it into the pot, like this right here. You can see I've just pushed this one into the soil. These area roots are basically meant for anchoring. When they go in soil or water, it changes to soil or water roots, which aids in the plant using it for moisture and nutrients. Otherwise, their primary goal is for anchoring. So the reason why I put them in the pot is when I go to propagate them, then it should have a root system to sustain that top cutting. When I take it off, it should already have some soil roots. Does your BURLE MARX like a lot of light? I have it just off to the side here, and I'm going to pull up a light meter. I've actually never measured it. It's getting light from the Soltech Highland track system up there. So I'm just going to use my little light meter and update it. Not now. Right where it is, I wish you could see it, it's getting 490 foot candles. So it's on the high end of medium light. So that's actually quite interesting. I thought it would be less than that. I thought it'd probably be around the 250 foot candles, but it's some decent light there. Yeah, 430 foot candles. So yeah, decent light, medium light for sure. If you don't have a light meter, definitely you should get one, because even though you think your windows give off a lot of light, it's actually quite surprising. Like even, and again, it depends on the time of year. Right now, as it's approaching fall and winter, the sun's lower in the sky, so it's going to reach farther back into the living room. But throughout kind of like the midsummer, the sun is very high in the sky, and if you actually watch like the shadows and or like the direct sunlight in the living room, only the first like couple feet from the window get bright light. Otherwise, the rest, it goes from like high foot candles to like 50-foot candles, like within a couple feet. So I'd love to see a plant shopping video in your area. Where I bought this Monstera Mint, it's from a store locally here, obviously. They bought like a new shop right next door to their old one. It's larger, and they gave it a new name. So I think I'd like to do maybe a little bit of a plant tour or plant shopping or something like that with that store, because it's done up pretty nice. And there's one other one that I go to quite often for all my, well, most of my plants when I buy them locally, and with my moss and all that kind of stuff. That's usually where I buy them. I was shocked how little light my windows were giving my plants. Light meters, yeah. You can get free light meter apps on your phone. I bought a digital light meter from Amazon for like $50. So, but it doesn't really tell you like the true reflection of how much your plant is using for light. You'll need like a hard meter for like PPFD and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, how long is this live stream now? 40-some minutes. So again, thanks to everyone that has tuned in today. So this one, just because, oh, the roots, they didn't even go down deep. I'm expecting this one to be a little bit more root bound than the mint. So, ooh, that's not good. Definitely had some rot at some point. So that's not good. All these lower roots rotted. I don't even know how that's possible. It's in a smaller pot, and it's in a really chunky mix. You know what happened? Is it probably got dry rot. I'm a chronic underwaterer, so it probably got super dry, and then when I soaked it with water, all these roots died. So, and they're the smaller roots, so that's probably what happened. Oh my goodness. There's rot everywhere. But it's got some nice, thick, healthy roots, so that makes me happy. You have you have a philodendron imperial red. I do not. I don't have one of those. Is that something that you just picked up, bought, or is that something you're looking for? I was trying to get an app to get an idea of how much light getting. Have you tried one? The app that I use is Photon. I believe it's PHOTONE, I believe. Let me try my pond. I might try my flame in pond when it's time to repot. That t-shirt is awesome. Yeah, it's a new one. I do have a philodendron one. I wore it in my last Monstera video. This is from Tropics Narcotics. It's a company in Slovenia, I believe. I ordered it, like I bought them, and I think it took maybe like a week and a half to get here to Canada, but they have such cool designs on their website, and I love them. This shirt is awesome, and then I think I have 4 shirts from them now. Wondering the best way to propagate it. You got a BURLE MARX FLAME in the summer? Is that what you're talking about, Kaden? was wondering the best way to propagate it. If you don't have like these aerial roots growing into the soil, then I would definitely air layer it. So place a little bag of moss or something on the aerial roots, and then let it grow in moss, and then that way you can chop it up. So I'm a little concerned right now because I thought these roots that were growing in soil were going to have more of these secondary roots, but they don't. So I'm just kind of looking at what I should do. So this is the original node. This little piece, I don't know if you can see it, this little section right here is the original node. It activated a growth point from this side, and it grew this entire stem. Now, if I cut it, I'm just looking at the best place to cut it for it to have roots. Okay, so this one looks like it rotted, so that's great. I was really hoping these top ones were going to have a bit more of a root system. So I have to think about this. I am going to chop it. I might. Okay, this root. Stand by, folks. I'm just thinking. This one rotted. That's not good. That one's getting chopped. So that kind of leaves me with this. Interesting. Remind me again why you're chopping this up. Just because this is what I do. I thought I had a large enough section at the top where I could place the top cutting in pon and grow it on a moss bowl, and then I would have enough of the stem on the bottom to grow more plants. So I would keep it in soil, and then it would sprout another growth point, and then I could just make more of these plants and then compare I guess the overall health of the plant from soil in like an aero mix to pon. So what's your favorite genus of houseplants? Probably philodendron right now. They're just super easy. I love growing them up planks and poles just to get larger leaves. Looks like if I cut it at this node, it should have another growth point right behind it. I can't see it. Okay, now this is too big for the pon pot. I am glad that I did take it out of this pot though, just so I can remove as much of the rot as I can. Chop off all the rotten sections. So I think I definitely let it get dry and then I watered it. So you know what? This one has, I might leave it. Or you know what? I'm just gonna cut it because I can always put it in water. The goal was to make more of these. Just taking off all the dead parts on the side, just as I think. See, I don't want to put it in soil because if this root isn't established enough, it's got a little rot maybe at the end, it's not established enough to sustain it in soil by itself. Okay, I'm gonna I'm just gonna go ahead with my regular agenda. I'm going to chop it here, make sure I'm missing the growth point. That leaves me with that. I might just put it in a container of water and let it grow some water roots for a little bit, and then I'll put it in a pond. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, there we go. I did it. So right here, this leaf has a growth point right there. I'm just going to stick this one right back in the pot. I'm going to put some new soil on this one so that any harmful root rot bacteria in this soil doesn't remain. Now I know I should probably be doing like a peroxide rinse or whatever, but I'm not concerned about it. I'm just going to pot this one up, give it some fresh soil, and we'll go from there. So this one will give me a new plant. I might just put this other one in water for now. If it had some more of these like secondary roots, then definitely I would have put it in the pond pot. But do you guys have any like Monstera questions or anything? I'm just going to leave this growing eye kind of exposed. I'm not going to give this one any water right now because I actually watered it today because I sprayed it off. And then I treated it again for thrips. I didn't see any thrips, but I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing on the plant for this live stream. Also, just like other live streams, if there's anything that you want to see updates on, then just let me know in the chat here as well. If there's anything that you want to see updates on or any other information. So I'm just going to set this one aside for now. So it's got the little stump. Love your lives. Thank you so much. I like I said in all of them, I love doing these lives and chatting with you guys. I was really hoping to put this in pond, especially on this moss pool. But I think for now I'm going to find a container or a pot for water. Now I'm just thinking, should I take another one? Should I take another node and then I can have 3 of these plants? Or should I just use it with these 2 roots? Okay, now I have to find a pot, a container for it. I know I have a pickle jar outside. Can you still hear that buzzing? Cressa says, hello. Welcome to the live. Bob says, go for it. I think Bob wants me to cut up my plants to make more plants. Okay, I just have to find a container for this one to have some water. I think I will, I'll have to go outside and find one. Proper. They're still buzzing. Oh, geez, that's not good. Okay, that's annoying. Sounds like a worn out VHS. I think I'm going to have to invest in a new mic. I bought this one. I'm just going to turn it off for a second. I'll turn it right back on. Okay, did that fix it? With air layering, how long does it take for a decent enough? Nope. It's time to invest in a new microphone. With air layering, like I did this large one back here. I let it go for quite some time. And it had like a larger Ziploc bag just full of roots and moss. So I probably let it grow for longer than I should have. but I think you can get some pretty decent roots in like a couple months, especially with these big thick noodles. Okay, so for right now, just so it doesn't dry out, I'm just going to put this one in water. And I'm going to grow it this way. I don't want these roots to dry out, so there's no difference when you turn it off. Oh, that's interesting. There should have been. But anyways, I don't really have anything else to do. I was really hoping to be able to get this into pond, set it up on the moss pole, but for right now, I think I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to just propagate it in water, let it establish a root system, then I can put it in. It looks like it's going to have to be a larger pond pot, and then I can put it on a moss pole, and then it can grow roots into the moss. And then I can propagate it again down the road, hopefully sizing up these leaves. So I don't want to chance it right now putting just these two larger roots in soil, just because it doesn't have any secondary roots. And it looked like I did have to cut off a little section of rot. So I don't want to stick it in soil right now, because I would put money on it that it would just, the roots would basically shrivel up, rot, and then this plant would be a goner, and then I'd be left with just the little node in the soil there. So what's your favorite Monstera? Two actually, and they are just the regular green ones. This large one back here, I don't know if you can see it. This one I've been growing for a couple of years. It has many holes in the leaves, which I absolutely love. And then more recently, my water Monstera, I think it's been in water now for probably about 18 months. I just made a video on that, I think it was a few days ago. That one finally got holes in the leaves as well, and the leaf size is, I think it was like 20 or 21 inches. So it's those are my two favorite Monsteras right now. The other one, or I guess my second favorite, is the Monstera aurea, which I'll show. I don't think I've shown it very much on this channel. I got it as a one leaf node, so it was a node cutting. It's nothing great right now. This is the latest leaf. It's got a little bit of variegation up here, but I'm just trying to dial in the type of light that it requires. When it gets a little bit, I guess, lighter, typically that means it's getting more light. So I want the leaves to be like the green chlorophyll to be darker, and then the variegated yellow to be, it would basically stand out more. So I know when you get like the newest leaf, it's really difficult to see the variegation until it matures a little bit. But here's the original leaf. It's just like a one node cutting, I guess. And obviously it's gotten 4 leaves, but now it's starting to get fenestrations. So this one I love. It's a super slow growing plant. It has some really nice roots on it. But yeah, I can't wait till this one gets mature, but it's gonna be a while. I need like a portable camera just so I can take it around the room here and just show you guys updates and stuff like that. So for this one, I'm just gonna find I have a pickle jar outside that I'm going to grab for this one. I'll fill it up with some water, and this will be a water propagation one until it gets some decent roots, and then I'll throw it in pond. Love to get an aurea and a mint one day. Yeah, so that's the reason why I bought this one, is because I don't know if it's going to be a plant just like the Thai constellations that are going to be, in grocery stores in the next 6 months. So I did pick this one up yesterday, a couple days ago, and I just wanted it out of that soil before I watered it. So is there anything else that you guys would like to see? Otherwise, I think that's pretty much all I have to do for like my plant chores today. I just wanted to kind of deal with these two Monsteras. If you have any other questions and stuff like that, then please let me know. I need to get like a headset so that I can listen to the audio. I know it's this microphone. I filmed some clips for YouTube, and I go back and review it, and I can hear this like little buzzing. So I'm really hoping it wasn't for the entire live stream. I apologize if it was. This mic I've had for probably 3 or 4 years now, and yeah, it's been giving me some problems lately. And I've been Googling the solution, and it looks like it's a common issue with these mics. But that is all that I have, unless you guys, like I said, want to see any other plants or you have any other questions or anything like that. Just fire it off in the chat. Are you guys seeing any Monstera Aureas or mints or anything where you guys live? Yeah, the Aureas, like the variegated one, I think I've only ever seen it maybe like once here before. So that one is definitely pretty rare. So I had to snag that one up quick. Get a little saucer for this one. But what else can I show? Oh yeah, I want to show this. Here's the Anthurium crystallinum. Look at this leaf. It's still sizing up. Look at how big this leaf is. It looks funny on my computer screen. This thing's a beast. What are your lights called again? Which ones are you referring to? These ones back here. I guess I can put this down. Love this one. This is huge. And I'm constantly watching it for thrips because I find that like thrips absolutely love the newest leaf, the freshest leaf, probably the best tasting. So I'm watching this one like a hawk because I don't want her to be damaged. And I actually did find some thrips on the top there. I squished them. These lights back here, these ones are the Sansi grow bulbs. I buy them off Amazon. Yeah, they're super powerful lights. They do get a little hot, so you just have to be careful like how close you place them. Like the standing lights, the vertical lights that I have, those are Burena. I believe they are the T10. You can find, I think I have the Burenas, and I know I have the Sansi on my Amazon pages, US and Canada links. And then I have all my Soltec ones. So up here is my Soltec track light. I do have a Vita grow bulb, and then these, I don't know if you can see them on camera, but off camera here, I have those hanging pendant ones. Those are the Aspect, and that's pretty much the grow lights I use for my houseplants, and they're awesome. I love all these grow lights. Do you find that you need to water your plants more often when using Molly's succulent and cactus ingredient mix? I'm going to say no. I used like just a regular cactus soil in the past. I will, like, whether it's in soil or that ingredient mix. Actually, now that you say it, I probably have watered my larger jade plant a bit more frequently, like in the last few weeks here. It's in a south-facing window upstairs, and it gets full sun. And I always do the leaf test with my jade plants. And now that you mention it, I've had to water it maybe once every like 7 to 10 days, whereas normally I would, like in the summer months, do 2 weeks. So maybe a little bit more than I normally would for sure. My philodendron has gotten a couple big leaves, but it's ready to bloom. What'd you put off? It's your philodendron is going to bloom. Is that what you're saying? I've never had a philodendron flower from me before. This is, oh, I got another new leaf. But yeah, this one's beautiful. It sizes up really fast. Thank you. You're welcome. So, yeah, if there's no other questions, what's your next wish list plant? I don't really have one other than, like I said earlier, if you were in the live stream, I would love to have the variegated Bilietiae, but it's still very, very expensive. But that's really the only one that I would like to have in my collection, but I'm not going to be spending hundreds of dollars for it. I've just been buying smaller anthuriums for my IKEA cabinet, but I wouldn't say like I have a wish list one or one that I'm constantly searching for online and stuff. So if I see something online that I like and it's a decent price and shipping's a decent price, then I will buy it. D Rose says, now that you mentioned it, I do water a bit more frequently with my mom's cactus. Yeah, and that's not a bad thing. Just keep an eye on obviously the leaves and that sort of thing. But if you're having to water more frequently, then it's doing what it's meant to dry out faster. You don't want to have any cactus or succulents sitting in kind of soggy soil because they have very fibrous roots, and pardon me, if the longer that it stays in that type of soil, the more chance that you have for root rot. So having it in a nice gritty mixture is not only good for drying out, but it's good for airflow to the roots, and you're gonna have probably a healthier root system. So that's why I switched over most of my cactus and succulents to that mixture, and it's awesome. All right, well, I think I'm going to clean up my mess, take down the setup, and I'll try and review the audio mess again. So thanks for joining the live stream today. I'm going to find a suitable container for this Monstera. But check back tomorrow. I do have my Rudsta IKEA greenhouse cabinet update video. Hopefully you guys check that out. But hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in to today's live stream. So take care, everyone. See ya.